Hey there, hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Cheyenne from Pump Acquisition, and today we're going to be going over the best way to bring on new clients for your agency or coaching business in 2023. So let's jump right into this. The reason why so many of us have been experiencing difficulty in terms of signing our first clients or just bringing on more clients for our agency or coaching business is because of the information that's being shared within the space, and it's also being saturated and just generally not as effective as this new strategy we're going to be going over today. So first, let's cover the previous strategy and why this might not be working for us. One of the outdated strategies, known as the costly strategy, is where we run ads for generating traffic into a video sales letter or opt-in page and then hope that we book sales calls from there. The problems here are that, of course, it's high cost in terms of generating attention with ads, meaning we're constantly worrying about our conversion rate in terms of our video sales letter page or our opt-in page. And then lastly, the sales calls we actually manage to book are always going to be very difficult to close because they're high resistance sales calls, and our prospects are also uneducated in terms of what we do and what kind of services we offer in order to solve any potential problems that they might have. The next strategy, which is popularized by people like Iman Gadzhi, is what I call the permanent uphill battle. So this starts out with trying to find prospects in terms of social media channels, such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be, trying to then book them onto a demo in terms of cold outreach messaging, later trying to close them on a sales call if we manage to book the sales call, and of course, we're always met with objections. So either we're going to go through the objection successfully and close, which is a very small amount of the time, or what's most likely to happen, the prospect says no and is gone for good. The reason why they're gone for good is because most of the time the prospects realize that they have nothing to benefit from the relationship with you other than actually being sold by you. So if they're not going to buy your product, they're just going to leave because there's nothing else that you have to offer them. This is one of the things that we actually solve for today with the new strategy, which makes such a large difference. So just going over the quick problems with this strategy that's popularized by Iman that a lot of people are having difficulty with is: where are you actually going to find qualified prospects to begin with? How are you going to convince them to get onto a call with you? How will you overcome all the resistance and objections when attempting to close them? And then if they say no, like I just said, there's nothing else, no other reasons for them to stick around, which causes them to leave for good. Not only is this difficult to execute, but also actually closing, we have the same problem in the first costly strategy, which is high resistance sales process, meaning it's very difficult to actually close people because they don't know what their problems are and what kind of services we offer. So firstly, let's tackle that part. So that's what we're going to be going over right now, which is the education process. So actually, the analogy I'd like to use for you guys is, let's say you have a problem with your plumbing, with your sink, right? Let's say it's all clogged up. If you don't actually know that you have a clog, you won't know to go and contact a plumber to help you out with it. So the point I'm trying to make here is, if you don't know or you're unaware of the problem that you actually have, it's impossible for you to think further to the next step of looking for a solution and searching out people who offer that solution. So the first step is to actually educate the market about what kind of problems that they're facing, and then educate them in regards to the solutions that you have to solve those problems. So to start out this process, we have prospects who are solution unaware, meaning they're unaware of the kind of solution or service that you offer. We have a cold lead over here, which is our ideal prospect. The only problem is that they're uneducated. So the ideal process that we're going to build for them to go through is, we're going to have content, educational content, posted on channels such as YouTube and podcast platforms such as Spotify. Then we're going to have these long-form contents such as YouTube and podcasts chopped up, clipped, and recycled across these 3 different platforms. So this is so effective is because you can have a long YouTube video, and then you can cut up a bunch of shorts out of that YouTube video, and then just by each edit, so let's say you only edit one video, you can still recycle that one video and get so much value out of it because you can post it across all of these platforms, such as Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and even back to YouTube Shorts. So after we've redistributed and recycled the content, we now are going to lead prospects towards value checkpoints or funnels. So this could be a 2-step post with a call to action on somewhere like Twitter. This could be a link to your private community in terms of Facebook or Discord, which is one of my personal favorites. And then lastly, we have a free course or lead magnet to obtain details such as email, phone number, whatever it may be. So now the point is, the prospect was over here. They were unaware of what kind of problems that they had and what kind of solutions that you were offering. They consumed your content, they consumed more of your content, and then they engaged with one of your value checkpoints. Now they're totally aware of what kind of solutions you offer and what kind of problems that they have. And now, if they realize that they want to solve the problems that they have, you're going to be the primary source that they're going to go to in order to get a solution for their problems. Meaning the prospect is now aware of the problems and the solutions that you have to help them with those problems. So now let's jump back over here into our process. And like I told you guys, this strategy over here, it's not your fault. It's just what's been taught to us. So now that we're done with the permanent uphill battle, let's jump into the new strategy. So this is what the new strategy looks like, guys. So step 1 is free value content in terms of short form content and long form content, which is part of the educational process over here. So this would be an example of long form, podcasts and long YouTube videos, and then you chop it up and you make short form content. The reason for this is we're going to be generating attention for our business free of charge. And we're also giving away an immense amount of value. Meaning over here, if later down the line, someone decides to say no and they don't want to buy with you right now, they're not gone for good because they still have something to gain from you in the long term, which is valuable and informative content on a consistent basis. So step 1 is to produce content, and you really need to master this. You need to produce valuable content. Step 2 now is to capture and store the attention that we're generating with our content in a private community for ourselves. So this could be in the form of a Facebook group or a Discord channel. What you're going to do is direct all your viewers to join that private community of yours, and you can incentivize them to join with something like a free course or a lead magnet. So for example, let's say you're a fitness trainer, you could say, hey, I've got a free workout plan. All you got to do is join my private community and you'll be able to download it. Or if you're some sort of business coach, you can have a flow chart like I've built out over here, and it can be for whatever type of business industry you're in. And you can say, hey guys, if you want that resource, just join my private community. This is an extremely vital point, and it's super important for monetizing later, but it's important now because we're generating content, and the purpose of that is to create attention and generate attention for our business. Instead of losing out on majority of that attention, we want to direct everybody to our private community so we capture the attention and we don't lose out on all of the hard work in terms of producing content to generate that attention in the first place. So after we've generated attention and we've started to store it in our private community, this also gives us an opportunity to obtain email addresses from all of the community members. Now we're starting to build our own vault of warm leads. So it's literally a bank vault of just people who are interested in what we do, what we offer, and they want to learn more. We can also now begin providing value and nurturing with valuable emails and call to actions. So now that you have your email list, you can write just one valuable email and blast it out to everybody, hundreds of people, thousands of people at one time, because that's how powerful email is. So step number 3, after we've started to capture and store attention, we want to continue to nurture with free value. Meaning, we want to give our most valuable content, our most valuable insights, our best information. We want to give it away for free to our community members. And the purpose of this is, once again, the education process. They're going to be aware of what kind of solutions we offer and what type of problems that they have. So when they realize and they decide, hey, I want this problem solved, I'm going to go to the guy who knows so much about it. So do not skip out on step number 3. Always continue to nurture with more free value. Now over here in step 4, we can begin to DM already warmed leads who are now educated in regards to our process. So now when we start to DM people, there's much less resistance in comparison to this strategy over here, where people don't know about us, they don't know about our solution, they have no idea who we are. Over here, they know about us, they know what type of solutions we offer, and they know what type of problems we help people with. So once we DM people here, we're going to have a very, very high booking rate in terms of actually getting people onto meetings. And also we're going to have a very, very high closing rate due to the education process. So over here, I just want you guys to read these two topics because they're extremely important, right? They're both in regards to nurturing. So nurturing gives those who are not quite ready yet the opportunity to grow into your perfect ideal client later down the road. So if you guys remember over here, I mentioned once we pass objections in the old strategy, if the prospect says no, they're gone for good, right? They have nothing else to benefit from our relationship other than being sold by us. Over here in the new process, if you get someone onto a sales call and they say, no, I'm not ready to buy yet, they're still going to stay in your business ecosystem in terms of actually viewing your content as well as in your private community, because you're still giving them some reason to stick around, and that's the value you're providing on a consistent basis for free, being step one, which is the content. So there's always still a reason for them to stick around, meaning if they're not ready to buy today, they're still going to be a potential customer later down the road, and you don't lose out on anybody like in the previous old strategy. Nurturing is also going to cause community members to jump straight to wanting to work with you without having to reach out to them, solely off of the value you provided them. So I'll give you guys an example over here. Let's say someone joined your community through viewing your valuable content, and then they're in your community and they continue to see more valuable content and they manage to get a win for free. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're a sales coach and within your private community, you have a sales script or some sales training. And then let's say someone actually went through that and they managed to close more deals. So now, after being able to see benefits in their own life and some wins with your free information, they can only dream and imagine of what type of results you're going to be able to produce for them with your paid courses or paid programs or whatever it may be. Meaning, they're going to jump straight from being a private community member all the way over to wanting to work with you without you having to take a sales call or even reach out to them over DMs. So these are just some of the effective parts of the new strategy. But like I told you guys, it all revolves around providing valuable content and nurturing. Coming over to the flow down here, comparing this to the first strategy being the outdated and costly strategy, let's just look at a price comparison. So at the industry average of $20 per quality lead, you would be spending over $600 to $2,000 in paid ads every single day to achieve this workflow that we just went over. And we'll go over the metrics just to make sure of that. So let's say one short at the lowest is 300 to 1,000 views, meaning one piece of short form content. If we post 2 to 3 of them per day, that's going to be 600 to 2,000 views we're generating for our business free of charge. If we add a call to action in the captions and assume 5% of short viewers will join your private community, that's going to be 30 to 100 requests per day. And once again, 5% is the very bare minimum. Assuming a 50% qualification on everybody who joins the private community, that's going to be 15 to 50 qualified leads per day joining your private community. Assuming a 10% booking rate from those private community members, we're going to have 1 to 5 sales calls per day. So once again, these are just the bare minimum statistics, being a 50% qualification rate and a 10% booking rate for sales calls. Of course, some people are in 30% or even higher than that. But just by posting content, quality content, having a private community and a nurturing system, you're going to be able to book 1 to 5 quality sales calls per day. 1 to 5 sales calls of people who are educated in regards to what you do, how you can help them, and what kind of problems that they might be facing. So what's so important here is this is scalable. This degree of free distribution allows for business owners to access thousands of eyes, own their viewers' attention, and convert them into customers at a fraction of the cost in comparison to traditional advertisements. So now that you know the strategy, you're left with two choices. You can either perform these steps yourself, which is totally doable, it's just going to be difficult and time consuming, or you can work with industry experts who are already familiar and actually help formulate this strategy to begin with. This is going to leave you with the only tasks of producing content, as it's all going to be edited for you. You just got to record it, and closing low resistance sales calls, as they're already going to be generated for you with this strategy when executed correctly. But with that being said, I hope you guys learned something in regards to how to actually sign new clients for your agency or coaching business in 2023, and why so many of us had difficulty due to the old strategies that were taught by influencers such as Iman and other people within the agency space. So, hope you start implementing this. Tell me what kind of results you have. And if you'd like access to this document itself, I'm going to have the document link within my own private community where you guys can join. So, hope you learned something. Be safe and be well, and start implementing this strategy today.